This video is all about the camera comparison between the Hubsan Zino, DJI Spark, and the DJI Mavic Air. So let's get started. Okay, we're on. You ready to go?
Oh.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, YouTube, this is my good buddy Jeremy here. He's in from San Mateo.
Special guest.
Yeah. He's got a nice Mavic Air. We're going to go fly down by the flood wall. Hey, YouTube, this is Eddie. Say hi, Eddie.
Hey!
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. For Instagram, AirJair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
AirJair?
AirJair.
And that's what we can find you on?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a while, so it'd be good to be coming back on the East Coast, back home.
Yeah.
See what I can find.
Where in the West Coast do you like to fly, Jeremy?
I live in the Bay Area, outside of San Francisco, so driving out to Half Moon Bay, Pacifica, into the city, and then San Mateo.
Here we are, headed up the flood wall in Richmond. Thank you, Army Corps of Engineers. Well, the river's raging today. The sun is just perfect. The seagulls seem to be happy. The rapids are roaring. And we're going to be flying them. Wow, pretty place. Super nice place. Yeah, it is a very cool shot. Richmond flood wall here. Go into the location where we're going to fly from, which is this small little area that has these control valves that allows the water to be controlled going into a canal on the left side of the river. The next scene here, you're going to see the front, back, and top view of the area we're flying from. It's this little bump out section where the valves are for this canal.
Oh, this is too fast.
Okay, so here you see two different shots, one from the Hubsan Zino, another one from the DJI Mavic Air, and then I'm also showing you the resolution and frame rate that we're using for the shots. I use my very favorite frame rate is 1080p at 60 frames a second for the Zino, and Jeremy's favorite frame rate is and resolution is 4K at 30 frames a second. So it is not quite apples to apple comparison. The other thing to note here is also that the Zino has no filters available right now, so I don't have one on the lens. And the Mavic Air has a ND16 polarized filter on its lens. So what we're seeing here is the Zino is waiting for the Mavic Air being piloted by Jeremy to come in and circle around the Zino. So it's a pretty cool shot. You see it coming in the left quadrant of the Zinos, and then you see the shot from the Mavic Air as it's circling the Zino. So he's doing a really great job piloting. He just overshot it for a second, but he regained the shot. And you can see the Zino there as I pulled up a little bit to give you guys a better view. And then what we're going to do next, we're just going to fly down this dam area here. They call it the Manchester Dam area. So now we're lining up to get the shot. I start out kind of, nice and smooth. Not used to the Hubsan Zino yet. It's definitely sporty compared to my old Spark. So as you can see, here's the shot from the Zino, and I'm going to split screen it here in a second. There we go. And then you see the Zino start taking off, and the Mavic Air is going to go ahead and follow it. And I just jumped on my stick a little bit too hard, and then I slow down, and then I slow down again, and then he overshot me, and then he's got to turn around and try to spot me again. So that's what occurred there. And then the other thing too was that I was running out of batteries and I needed to get back. So I'm not really that familiar with the Zino yet, so I wasn't going to take a chance, especially flying over water, if I was running out of battery, because in the past these things are notoriously just landing where they're at. Kind of like, DJI Mavics. When they first came out, they would just start landing wherever they were, too, if they got to a certain degree of battery life. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And then what you're going to see here, I'm flying into the landing pad, and the Mavic Air is going to look down in the lower left-hand quadrant. It'll be hard to spot because right now it's in those waterfalls, but you can see movement. And that movement happens to be the Hubsan Zino. You can see it there. And you can see my point of view as I'm coming into the landing pad, and then the Mavic's catching it from above. Pretty cool scene. We could have done better, but, it's a hard thing that we didn't script any of this. So that kind of leads me into the next segment, is that since we didn't script anything, the shots, trying to compare these two shots are hard because Jeremy, flying the Mavic Air, he likes to fly a certain way, and I like to fly a certain way. And I didn't really want to script it because, it just kind of takes the creative factor out of flying. And that's, for me, is the best part about flying a drone, is that you're able to create the shots depending on what you're seeing and what's happening around you, right? So here's some pretty decent comparisons of similar shots flying over the bridge and the cars going under it. And later in the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to number the shots 1 through 3, and then I'm going to ask you guys to see if you guys can figure it out in your mind, which other drones is taking a shot. And of course, I'll tell you which drone is what number, and that way you guys can kind of confirm in your mind what shot was taken by what camera or what drone. From the city. Actually, the Mavic has a lot more range than the Zino, and he's depicted here very well. Okay, so what we're seeing here is the initial flight of the Zino from the launch pad going straight up to 400 feet, and then it's gonna slide right, the right thumb on my controller here. You'll see me just jamming it all the way to the right. So the direction is just basically pointing forward but sliding to the right. And Jeremy is using my phone to capture the video that you see in the lower left-hand quadrant. My objective here is to get to the railroad tracks and then drop down. I'm trying to be as cautious as possible. It's the first time taking the Hubsan Zino out over water, And as you can tell, the terrain is not conducive to trying to retrieve a drone. It is, if you drop it in the water or in one of those islands, it's going to be super hard to get it. And I'm walking over, you can see it in the lower left-hand quadrant. I'm actually walking over to stay in the line of sight of the Zino. It's pretty high up there, but I can still see it. So there it is. I can see the railroad tracks coming into play. And so I'm going to slow down and drop altitude to get the shot. And you'll also notice that you'll see some of the red flashes from the camera issues that the Zino's been having. They seem to be coming from moving the camera around a lot. So you'll see me trying to move the camera fast up and down. Okay, so now we're going to start the comparison of the cameras. So this is the number 2 drone. So if you guys start thinking about what drone is taking what pictures and kind of keep those in your mind. So once again, we have 3 drones at play. We have the Hubsan Zino, DJI Mavic Air, and the DJI Spark. While Jeremy and I were walking on the floodwall, this is the conversation we had. Take a listen. I mean, this city has got so much going on. I really didn't realize until I started droning how much the city has going for it. Because it's taking me to places like this to kind of expand the view of...
Yeah, it takes you places you wouldn't think to go before. Find a different point of view.
What makes you fly?
I've always had interest in flying, whether it was getting behind in the pilot seat. This will just have to do for now. I like flying, I like watching it fly, and then I got into the drones to see what it could see, you know. Well, I was always flying the RC planes and helicopters that had strap cameras on them, and then get some shaky footage that'll make you sick. And when I moved to New York, I couldn't take them with me, so I found a drone with a camera I could pop on it, and that's where I kind of combined my love of flying with photography too. So it's like a perfect combo.
Yeah, well, I watched you grow up racing those little cars across the street as a kid.
Yeah.
So to give you guys some context, I moved into the neighborhood and was a little distracted there, sorry. Moved into the neighborhood and Jeremy was probably 7, 8 years old, and he was doing RC stuff from trucks and planes, and
grew out of it for a little while, and I don't know what brought me back to it.
The new development.
College,
yeah.
And got into the drones. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so some of the shots you've seen on my videos, are right here. Right here. I fly right across real low.
It's a little fall.
I'm actually water level and slide across over and then I fly across there. But I don't want to influence the way I fly to the way you want to fly.
Yeah. Maybe I can catch your drone doing what you do. We'll take turns.
So here's the description of this place. And currently, this is down. See, they put that Manchester Dam.
Okay, so this is
That thing's closed because otherwise the water comes through here. Okay. It would flood that area down there. Okay. So that's what you're seeing right now. Yeah. What a beautiful day. You know, when I first set out to put this video together, I really didn't know what I was getting into. It was a lot harder than I thought, trying to put all this content together. Not only did I have a lot of content to go through, but trying to put the right content together to compare the cameras it was hard. There's no doubt about it. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. And thanks again for watching. You guys have a great day.